Hello and welcome to the NinjaTrader Indicator Warehouse. Today we are going to cover the Bollinger Band suite, an indicator bundle which combines the statistical probability of Bollinger Bands with the power of oscillator indicators to generate buy and sell signals. The Bollinger Band suite is easy to use, fully customizable so that you can use your favorite settings on your favorite indicators, and best of all, it's extremely accurate. Let's take a look at how the Bollinger Band suite works. Once you have downloaded the Bollinger Band suite to your computer and imported it to your NinjaTrader, open your indicator panel on NinjaTrader and find the Bollinger Band suite from your indicator assortment. It will be marked IW Bollinger Band suite. You can double-click on that, and that will move the Bollinger Band suite into your indicator panel, indicating that it is going to be applied to your charting software. Let's take a look at some of the settings available with the Bollinger Band suite. The Bollinger standard deviation is set at 1 by default, and the Bollinger period is set at 10. Since Bollinger Bands measure market volatility, you can adjust these settings for your own personal preferences. The calculation mode, which will generate your buy and sell signals, by default is set to the MACD indicator. From the pull-down menu, you have 7 different oscillator indicators to choose from, including the Awesome Oscillator, CCI, MACD, Rate of Change, Stochastic RSI, Trend Strength Indicator, and the Volume Oscillator. Each of these various oscillators and indicators can be adjusted in the panel below here where you have the settings for each. By default, the indicator is set to calculate buy and sell signals on the close of the bar. However, if you would like it to calculate it as the bar is forming, turn that on and off here. You can also displace the indicator if you so choose by however many periods you choose. And down here you can control the alerts. This is where you can control the buy and sell arrows, how they look, as well as the sound alerts. This is where you would go to turn the alerts on and off. What's quite unique about the Bollinger Band suite is that it also has a divergence indicator built in. Oscillator indicators are very accurate at pointing out market divergence between price and the oscillator. With the Bollinger Band suite, you have the option of spotting the divergences manually, or you can have the program point them out to you by turning the Show Divergence button on to True. The divergence distance can be set here, how far you want the market to look back, and how many bars you want to allow between the divergence and the price, thereby setting the sensitivity of the divergence indicator. The rest of the settings here have to do with how the indicator looks on your chart. And once you're satisfied with your settings, click Apply and OK. And now you're ready to trade with the Bollinger Band suite. What the Bollinger Band suite does is impose Bollinger Bands over your favorite indicator. This is the Bollinger Band over the standard MACD settings. With the standard settings, you can see that the Bollinger Bands show when the market is breaking out or ready to make a move and when prices are consolidating. A signal is generated when the indicator moves out of the Bollinger Band range. These are the settings for trend trades. For counter-trend trade, the opposite would be true, and a signal would be generated when the indicator moves back within the Bollinger Band trades. Here, for instance, the indicator has moved outside of the Bollinger Band range. That generated a green dot and a blue buy arrow, thereby indicating that the market was likely to rally. Here, the indicator moved back within the Bollinger Band range, changing the color, and it emerged on the other side, generating a red dot and a red sell arrow, indicating that move to the downside. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band suite in action. Here we have a 5-minute crude oil chart, and the market has just opened. And you can see that we're waiting for a signal to generate, I do want to point out a couple of things to you. The dotted line that we have here, this is the divergence indicator turned on. I have the Bollinger Band suite set with the standard MACD setting, the default setting, and you can see that MACD is showing us a divergence between the MACD indicator and price action. Therefore, we just recently got a sell signal, but because of the divergence, I'm actually a little bit suspicious about trying to sell this market, and I might hold out to see if we're going to get a buy signal. This is about 20 minutes later. The Bollinger Bands and the indicators are all intertwined right now, suggesting a neutral market, but you can see that the indicator has turned from a reddish color to a greenish color, indicating that we might actually be seeing a breakout to the upside here very shortly. So we'll just follow this through for a few more minutes, and perhaps that will give us the buy signal that we've been anticipating. The Bollinger Band suite has generated a blue arrow suggesting that if this bar continues to turn green, the Bollinger Band indicator will close outside the indicator, thereby completing our buy signal and giving us an opportunity to buy this market long. So I'm just going to let this bar wind down, after which it looks like we're probably going to generate a signal to buy. All right, our buy signal is complete. I'm going to place an order to buy. I'll buy 2 contracts. If the market continues higher, you can see here our Bollinger Band indicator has given us a confirmed signal outside of the Bollinger Band range. All right, we're currently long this market. I'll place my stop loss order, and we'll let this trade progress for a few minutes and see how we do. Well, we're not even into this trade for 10 minutes yet, and we're already up over $1,400. That's a little bit more than my nerves can take, so I'm going to roll my stop loss order in very tight. And you can see that we got a very strong signal here off of our Bollinger Band indicator. And it looks like the market will likely progress higher from here still, but a very powerful, very effective tool. Bollinger Bands, as I mentioned, measure market volatility, so whenever the indicator gives you a signal outside of the Bollinger Band range, you have a high probability signal that the market might be entering a trending phase, thereby giving you a high probability buy or sell signal. And remember, whether you are day trading the E-mini S&P, other futures contracts, or Forex, Indicator Warehouse will help you get more profit from your online trading and technical analysis efforts. Thank you again for joining us.